It was actually all gone. Like, you can't even tell where we lived. So, yeah, it's just kind of crazy.
Before I went down the basement, I went all around my house and I prayed. I prayed for God to keep us safe and to keep the house safe and my animals safe. And I went downstairs and was in the furnace room, and then I heard like a train, and then insulation came from the basement, one of the basement windows, and came in, and I heard it and I knew it was hitting.
And after the storm passed, this is what survivors saw in Greenfield, Iowa. A path of destruction carved right through that town of 2,600. And authorities tell us not everyone lived through it. The Iowa State Patrol says there are multiple fatalities following this powerful tornado.
That was the view from the air. Here's what it looked like on the ground in Greenfield. Debris is scattered for miles. Search and rescue efforts are underway as so many homes and businesses are torn to shreds. Cars, barns, and homes, if not flattened to the foundation, were picked up and tossed by the tornado, creating mounds of rubble across the city. Right now, there is a curfew in place from 10 o'clock tonight to 7 o'clock tomorrow morning. That's to help ensure safety for the residents in those impacted areas.
We do believe we have everybody accounted for, but we just want to make sure that with our search efforts, obviously this tornado has devastated a good portion of this town and community. And with that much damage, we want to make sure that we're doing our due diligence and making sure that we do cover that area extensively.
Iowa Governor Kim Reynolds also weighing in on the devastation in Greenfield, offering her prayers and her assistance from the state. The governor plans to visit Greenfield tomorrow to help local officials assess the damage and begin that long recovery process. Amidst the tragedy tonight in Greenfield, one ray of hope, a family reunited after the storm.
The Masker family's home was destroyed by the tornado that tore through that town, but when the winds died down and the storm passed, there was one member of the family unaccounted for, the family's dog, Luna. The missing pup eventually tracked down and reunited with her owners in a very emotional moment.
Walk us through what's going through your head right now.
I'm just thanking Jesus that we're all here. And my last thing was I knew my daughter was okay. She was at daycare, and all my family and friends who live right here were all okay. But the dog wasn't here. But we found her, so I'm just so thankful to God that we're all here.
It was that same line of storms moving into central Iowa that caused this. At least 3 wind turbines near Prescott, Iowa, and Adams County were snapped and toppled, and that sparked the fire that you see in the surrounding fields. A tornado was reported in the area at the time. Still not clear whether that tornado caused that damage.